What is clever way to save money that most people don't realize? Every time you fancy buying something special, impulse buying by principle, postpone it for a week. If you forget, you really didn't need it. I do that with Amazon. I just add it to my cart and wait. 99% of the time when I go back to look at my cart later, I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking? I don't really need this. Learn to love water. Get a good reusable bottle or a bunch, and just bring one everywhere. It's the best thing for your health, and that $2 to $3 tax buying a drink whenever you're out is avoided. The idea that there's people out there who don't like water is just so bizarre to me. Learn to fix things rather than instinctively replacing them or paying someone to fix them. YouTube is quite educational. Take this with a grain of salt. As a remodeler, I've seen plenty of customer fuck-ups that end up costing them twice. Once for their time and materials, and once for my time and materials to fix it. If something seems way too easy, you're probably missing a step. Likewise, if you dive into good information and it confuses you or you don't have the tools, save yourself the headaches and wasted money on mistakes and hire a pro. Some things are DIY friendly. Some things. Keep almost all your money in an account that's not connected to your card, but you can easily transfer from. Keep only enough to cover small expenses, like a coffee or small grocery store trip, in the account that's connected to your card. Every time you buy something that costs more than €20 or so, you'll need to take an extra step in transferring the money for it, and also have to look at your account balance to better gauge whether it's really worth it. This stops nearly all impulse buying for me, other than small items. Bring a six-pack, party at your apartment rather than going to the bar. I mostly drink at home due to same reason. Sometimes if I have mood to go out, I prefer to drink couple drinks at home, and then go out to save some bucks. Buy in big packages or in bulk on sale, but also put stuff in smaller containers to use, like dish soap, shampoo, laundry detergent, etc. You can lower the price of most things 50% basically just by tricking yourself into using less and extending the amount of time each bulk package covers. Also, when you do this with food, like putting cereal or pasta into a bigger food storage container instead of the small cardboard boxes, you won't feel the need to overeat by using up the last of a small package as often if it's in one huge container, and you just get out enough for one meal. I would add that if you don't have the money and have to use a credit card where you can't pay the balance, you are not saving by bulk buying, your money goes to interest. To add on, if you're a single household, bulk buying is only great for non-perishables. You're not saving much if you have food waste. Cooking your own food. Bingo! Get a simple cookbook. Simple Italian recipes were what got me started cooking. Don't buy the cheapest option. Buy a couple of steps above it. The cheapest washing machine will last you 3 years and then you have to buy a new one. Just wait for a special offer, Black Friday or some sort of clearance sellout, and get the last year's model for a discount price, and it will last you 10 to 15 years. Same thing with most machines, cars, computers, and clothes. Don't buy a cheap pair of sneakers. Save up and buy a slightly more expensive leather boot. Something that you can actually maintain, repair, and reuse. Any furniture made out of cheap material is going to collapse eventually. Buy real wood and it will last for a lifetime. Same thing with pots and pans, bed linen, clothes, and so on. The reason that the rich were so rich, Vim's reasoned, was because they managed to spend less money. Take Boots, for example. He earned $38 a month plus allowances. A really good pair of leather boots cost $50. But an affordable pair of boots, which were sort of okay for a season or two and then leaked like hell when the cardboard gave out, cost about $10. Those were the kind of boots Vims always bought and wore until the soles were so thin that he could tell where he was in Ankh-Morpork on a foggy night by the feel of the cobbles. But the thing was that good boots lasted for years and years. A man who could afford $50 had a pair of boots that'd still be keeping his feet dry in 10 years' time, while the poor man who could only afford cheap boots would have spent $100 on boots in the same time and would still have wet feet. This was the Captain Samuel Vim's Boots theory of socioeconomic unfairness. Black Friday models are often worse quality. They are made to look like the same product, but if you check the serial number, it's different. They are made with cheaper, lower quality parts. I've mostly seen this apply to televisions, but I wouldn't be surprised if it affects home appliances as well. A penny saved is a penny not spent. Benjamin Lincoln. 10% of all you earn is yours to keep, the richest man in Babylon. After I read this, I started transferring 10% to another bank account. Doesn't seem like much when you start, but it starts adding up over time. Make your own coffee at home. Don't go to places like Starbucks or even the independent coffee shops. You might have to spend a little in the beginning to get a decent coffee set up, but in the long run you will be saving yourself time and money. Plus, you can make coffee at home that tastes way better than most coffee shops for like 1/10 the cost that you pay at a shop. And it makes going out to the cafe for a frappuccino or something a nice treat instead of a daily money suck. Never go shopping when hungry. Making your own food. It's creative and can save tons of money, especially when it comes to eating out. And then take leftovers to work and skip going out to lunch as well. Don't spend it on rubbish you don't need. Just because an item is on sale doesn't mean you should get it. 'Cause you save more money if you don't buy the thing on sale. Politely make a counter offer when you get a job offer. It's actually expected, and there's pretty much zero risk in doing so as long as you don't turn it into an ultimatum. You're probably throwing more money away by not doing this than you can save by pinching pennies and not buying drinks at restaurants. Do you have graceful wording for this? I always feel it needs justification because other company is paying $Y or average for someone in my field is $Z. But that info is all coming from Glassdoor, but then I'm told that those numbers are way off base. The websites aren't reliable. Small-sized nonprofit worker here. Under 75K, always ask for, at least, $5,000 more. No need to justify. Just something like, I am eager to get to a yes, but given the responsibilities, I assume this would be closer to offer plus $5K. Is your offer firm? And then this is important, you need to shut your mouth. Do not speak. It will be uncomfortable. But don't babble at them nervously after making the ask. If they don't have it, they will probably offer more PTO to meet you halfway. If they don't have $5,000 and can't increase PTO, it's a red flag that something is off. I used to tell people that I was hiring to please negotiate for vacation with HR when the offer came, especially if I was offering them top of my budget. It's a pretty easy yes to get. I have 4 weeks vacation currently. Can you come up to 3 until my tenure gets me there? In some areas, electricity is cheaper after a certain time, so you can run dishwashers, washing machines, and dryers at that time to save on electricity. Call your provider and ask. Also, check if you can get discounts because of your age or income. My mom discovered that since both her and my dad are considered seniors, they get a discount on their electricity bill. I have 2 rules that I've always tried to follow, although not always as well as I'd like. 1. Happiness doesn't come from acquiring things I want, it comes from avoiding things I don't want. 2. I can only spend it once. By following these rules, I'm not rich, but I've at least avoided poverty. Quit smoking and drinking alcohol. Drink water instead of soda or Starbucks. Buy non-perishables in bulk. Eat out less and eat more at home. Borrow money from your parents, and don't pay them back. I have developed several ways to save significant amounts of money without much effort. Thrift stores. Especially where I live, there are lots of them, and they have deals quite frequently. If you time it right, you can get just about any durable good for less. Now, it won't be new or shiny even, but if you want some plates, who the fuck cares? After 3 months, those $10 new plates will be just as scuffed as the 99-cent thrift store ones. Same with glassware, coffee mugs. Clothes are hit or miss, because so many people are reselling thrift store shit. Go early in the AM if you can. Ethnic markets. They sell many things at higher prices, but if one goes to the Asian or Latin market for spices, you will get 2-3x as much for the same price, and the quality is as good. Computers and electronic goods are easily found through Nextdoor or friend networks. Always keep a few nerds under your belt in your friend group, and ask often when their company is disposing of electronics. University surplus or government surplus. These are open to the public, and they sell everything from furniture to computers and bicycles, even vehicles, at rock-bottom prices. Restaurant supply stores. Same as above, but some are not open to the public, so find a way to get in, or order from one like Standard Restaurant Supply, which is open to anybody. You can get everything from dishware to appliances at about 1/3 to 1/2 the cost of a premium cooking store. Lots of good knives as well. Don't buy coffees or lunches daily. I worked with a guy who was always complaining about being poor, but the guy spent $5 a day on coffee and $12 on lunch. That's $1,225 on coffee and $29.40 on lunch over the course of the year, factoring in vacation days, for a total of $4,165. Break that down over 12 months and it's $347 a month. Also, wait a week or two before buying something you want to make sure it isn't an impulse. Don't have children. Saves you about $250,000 per non-existent kid. Great idea. Now how do I get rid of my 10 and 14-year-old? You're gonna either need a time machine or a good hiding place. Don't go shopping as a form of entertainment. Put long-term savings in an investment account and not the bank. Invest in a credit card with cash back rewards that you put into savings only if you can pay the balance off each month. I use one for groceries, gas exclusively, and make about $400 annually just for using the card. What is a clever way to save money? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.